Hyundai, 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 potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Does it really matter? Let's get our wash bucket, let's get our mitts and soap together, and let's add some high quality H2O to this bucket, and let's get going on this full detail. First things first, make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you can come back and see what I get into next. The main focus on our detail today is going to be the exterior of this SUV. First things first, we're going to start with a thorough rinse down so we can get off all that loose dirt and grime. One thing I like to accomplish during this phase of the detail is to pop open the doors, the hatch, the hood area, and to hit all the door jambs. This particular vehicle, the hood area and the engine were filthy, so I gave them a quick once over. I didn't charge any extra, and it doesn't hurt to go that little extra mile. It's all about the details. Now during this thorough rinse down, something I didn't know about the vehicle is that it was coated in a white overspray. Little specks of white paint were everywhere. Get a look at that. Now I know that my clay job ahead of me is going to be a little bit more than I anticipated. But that is what it is. That's just part of what comes with being a mobile detailer. You never really know what you're getting into until you get your eyes on your project for the day. Moving right along from our thorough rinse down, we're going to go into a heavy foam bath. Now really, you can use any soap you want in this process. I like to use a nice snow foam that's formulated to create a nice thick soap on the vehicle. A nice thick snow foam is going to create a nice thick lubricated surface for you to work with when you go in with your mitts and rags to make a contact wash. While we're at it, let's not forget to brush them teeth because nobody likes to look at a dirty grill. After we make our hands-on contact wash, we're going to go ahead and give a thorough rinse down to get all that soap, suds, dirt and grime that's mixed all together off the vehicle. Make sure you rinse bottom to top. Or is it top to bottom? Or is it middle to top to bottom? Or middle to bottom to top? I can't remember. Anyway, get all the soap off the vehicle. Now we've got our SUV all cleaned off, and she looks clean, and a good car wash soap will even give you some beating. But she's rough, feels like sandpaper. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next phase, which is going to be an iron decon wash. As far as I'm concerned, this is basically a pre-clay bar step. If you're going to run a clay bar, you might as well run an iron decon wash real quick. You spray it on the vehicle, all surfaces, let it sit for a few minutes, and then you rinse it off. I know it sounds crazy, but when you wash your vehicle, you do not get all the contaminants off the surface. So you come in with an iron decon, you spray it on the vehicle surface, it begins to break up those hardened contaminants that are stuck onto the surface. So like I mentioned, you spray your iron decon all over the vehicle, you let it sit for a few, and then you come back in and you rinse it off. Usually they turn purple or something and you know it's time. Now guess what? You sprayed your iron decon, you've let it sit, and you've done another thorough rinse down on the vehicle, removing all the contaminants that the iron decon wash removed. Yet, the vehicle surface still has contaminants all over it. This is crazy, I know. We've taken all these steps. Thorough rinse down, foam bath, hands-on contact, an iron decon wash, yet our paint is still rough. And let's not forget about all those little specks of white paint. The iron decon wash did not remove those. So we're gonna have to come back in with a clay bar. Just what the hell is a clay bar, you ask? I don't know. I'm no damn scientist. I'm a mobile detailer. But I like to tell people it's a formulated piece of putty that you rub across the surface of your vehicle. They come in different grits and colors like sandpaper. The one I'm using is a very mild one. And what they do is they basically rub across the surface of your vehicle, and every little contaminant that's on your vehicle is going to stick to this formulated piece of putty and come off of your vehicle. Even those little specks of paint. While you're moving along the vehicle with your clay bar, you do keep the surface lubricated. High quality H2O does work, but they do make formulated chemicals to aid you in moving along with your clay bar process. After clay barring the whole vehicle, I'll give it one more thorough rinse down, dry it off with a towel, and move on to the next step. Here's what the surface of our Hyundai is looking like currently. All the paint specks are gone. The clay bar left very light marring. The scratch we had in the rear passenger door is still there, but it has already lightened up a little bit. The hood is looking rough with some spider webbing, as is some of the side of the vehicle. With our light, you can see some haze and some more light scratches that you just don't see in the vehicle when you're backed up looking at it without a nice detail light. Even in good direct sunlight, you could put your face up on this vehicle and not see some of these defects. With you seeing this vehicle and the light actually hitting it, you think to yourself, wow, that surface is really messed up. In all actuality, it's not that bad looking at it from my perspective. There's some haze, there's some light scratches going on, but we can easily take care of them with a nice one step. I'm going to use my multi-speed polisher, and I'm going to use just a black foam pad. I'm going to use a one-step compound polish product that's going to remove all the light scratches, all the haze, and all the little defects that we need to get out. Is it a problem that I'm doing this type of detail outside in the direct sun? In my opinion, it is not a problem. Is it a bit more time consuming? Yes. Why? Because I have to break the car down a little bit more than I would if I was indoors. Meaning while I'm outside, I may do only one panel at a time. If I'm indoors in a nice, cool, shaded environment, I might go ahead and knock out 2 panels at a time. So it's a bit more time consuming for me to do it outside. Also, I may have to break out the blower once in a while and blow off the next section of the vehicle I'm working on in case anything's dropped on the vehicle. Now, if a bird happens to come by and crap on the vehicle, then you guessed it, another thorough rinse down, at least of that little spot right there. So I went with the black foam pad on this particular detail because I knew it was going to be enough for this job. The foam pads come in different colors and textures, and they all have different abilities. Some remove scratches, some remove swirls, some are for finish polishing. This particular black pad is a finishing pad, but I knew it would do a great job on this vehicle. I'll just let the results speak for themselves. Let's take a walk around the vehicle. Now, I will tell you that after I finished with the one-step polish, I came back through and by hand I applied a liquid ceramic hybrid wax by Meguiar's. It's one of my favorite coatings to put on, easy to take off, leaves the vehicle looking amazing. Drop me a comment, make sure y'all have a stellar day. And I'm just gonna leave y'all with some of my favorite shots I like to take at the end of every detail.